MasterChef title. Each week,
Oh no,
5 new celebs face off against
It's time, Mr. Wallace, to find out what
Chef Kitchen are reality star Luca Bish,
My family are all, well, not all fishmongers. I've tried to pick up as much as I could, tip-wise. Not knowing that I'd ever be on MasterChef, but...
stage and screen acting legend Michael Praed,
Everybody wants to win. If you analyse games, essentially it's warfare. You try to annihilate your opposition, aren't you, to win.
hip-hop rapper and Black Eyed Peas group member Apple Diap,
My hometown in the Philippines is known for cooking, so, you know, no pressure. You're just gonna have fun.
Strictly Come Dancing professional Diane Boswell,
I'm gonna pretend that it's like cooking for my mum and my dad, because they're actually really harsh critics as well. They may think I'm a little rough around the edges, which I am.
and Emmerdale actor Amy Walsh.
I do cook, but I don't want to call myself a bit of a cook yet, because I just think that's like tempting fate, you know.
Tonight, they will face 2 challenges designed to test their culinary mettle.
You can't saute potatoes.
And at the end, one will be sent home.
regardless of how famous they are, they're going to have to hold their nerve.
Have we saved the best till last?
We're about to find out.
Oh my God, it's got my name on it.
Do we get to keep these?
Only if you nick it.
A very warm welcome to the MasterChef kitchen, and who knows, for one of you, this could be the start of an exciting journey that takes you all the way to the MasterChef trophy.
We call this under the cloche. There's a different ingredient under each of those domes, and we are going to ask you to come up and choose your own cloche, which means that you'll get yourself a special ingredient all of your own. Are we happy?
They don't look happy. They look anything but happy, John.
Diane, up you come.
Ooh. My dad and my brother are both butchers. My other brother's a baker. And I think this would be amazing for my whole family to see, like, that I can actually cook. Oh, mushrooms. I like mushrooms.
Do you know what sort of mushrooms they are?
Dunno.
It's a king oyster.
Oi, king oyster. Never heard of it.
There
Love
you go.
that, though.
If you were going to give it a name, what name would you give it?
Big bad boy mushroom.
You take your cloche and your big bad boy mushrooms back to your bench, Diane.
Thank you.
Michael, up you come.
Well, I think there are some similarities between being an actor and cooking. Something that I have tried to adopt is not to be afraid of trying something. If it is a disaster, you learn. Okay.
Do you know what they are, Michael?
They are scallops, I think. I have never cooked these in my life.
Luca, do you know how to cook a scallop?
I fancy my chances.
You got some help in your corner.
Luca, up you come.
I'm a bit nervous cooking in the MasterChef kitchen. My dad watched it ever since I was a kid, so coming here, it's a bit surreal.
You smell nice.
Yeah, you can smell me from there.
Yeah.
What's a meat?
Yeah.
Pork?
Well done. So I'll take it you've never cooked a piece of pork before?
Nah,
So
I don't
ha-
like pork.
So there are just 2 cloches left. There are 2 celebrities left. Apple, up you come.
I love cooking for my friends, for fight nights, boxing. I love cooking on tour. Yeah, I've been, you know, getting a lot of practice. Butter?
It's dairy, but it's not butter, it's cheese.
Oh, it's cheese.
The smell's quite distinctive because it's goat's cheese.
Okay, cool.
That better? Make you feel better?
Nope. Not at all.
Amy, up you come.
I think this is going to be the hardest thing I've probably ever done. I've seen how it breaks people. Oh, gosh.
Do you know what it is?
Oh, it's a fish.
Why don't you just hold up and see if Leaky can identify it for you?
Yeah.
A bream.
A bream. Thanks. Oh, God, I knew it.
What we'd like you to do is cook for us a dish whereby that ingredient is centre stage. It's got to be the star of the show. Alongside your special ingredient, we have behind us an amazing larder. And you can choose whatever you like to be able to build your dish and make something truly wonderful. 1 hour to collect your ingredients and cook us your dish. Let's cook.
Oh my word. I'm really happy that I got mushrooms, not gonna lie.
I'm thinking a mash. I don't know how much potato you need for a mash.
It's like doing a show, but you don't know the playlist.
This is a good old-fashioned MasterChef invention test. They're gonna have to really put their head down.
Sorry, fish.
They need to plan. This is a dish they really need to think about before they start to cook.
I'm completely and utterly out of my depth here. I don't even know how to open the scallop, let alone fillet the thing.
They need to draw on the knowledge they actually have. Don't try to be too elaborate at this stage. Be true to yourself. Cook what you actually know.
I'm a bit like, what am I doing? But it's working, I think.
Award-winning dancer Diane Boswell is best known for being a professional on Strictly Come Dancing, where she reached the final in 2018.
I am, number one, very competitive, so I have that competitive streak in me. I want to win.
What are you going to make?
I'm going to make a mushroom soup. I need to make something to go with it, so I think I want to make like a mushroom bruschetta to go on the side.
Who do you cook for?
If I'm at home, I like to cook for my family.
What's home?
Australia home.
Right. What food were you brought up with at home in Australia?
Being from an Italian family, most of our food was very Mediterranean. Lots of pasta dishes. My dad's a butcher, so we were never short of meat. And Mum's a grocer, so loads of fruit and veg.
So both your mum and dad are involved in the food industry?
Yeah, and my brother's a baker.
No way!
Yeah, and my other brother's also a butcher.
Mate, you've got food in your DNA.
I know. I need to be better than them. This is why I'm here.
You've got some good ideas.
Thank you. All right, let's do this.
We're going to get mushroom soup. There's coconut milk on her bench. I hope that sweetness doesn't actually make those mushrooms taste a little bit weird. On the side, we're going to get a little bruschetta. A bit of toasted bread, garlic across the top, nice and crispy.
That's probably a bit too much garlic.
More sautéed mushrooms across the top of it. I don't want the mushrooms to go slimy, which means that when she puts them in the pan to cook them, she needs to cook them like a piece of meat. Let them sear and seal, and then turn them over once, season them, and that's it.
How do you do this? Do you know?
Yeah, I would go from the curve. You lose less meat, and you run your knife just along the back.
All right, cheers.
Actor Michael Praed is most known for his role as Robin Hood in the 1980s British TV series Robin of Sherwood, and recently appeared as Frank Clayton in Emmerdale. At home, Michael gets 7 out of 10 from his wife Josephina for his cooking skills.
Do you boil these?
Yeah, peel and boil them.
I cook for me and my other half, and also if we have people over, obviously. And it can be anything. We'll be watching a cookery program and a recipe will come up, and Josephine will say, well, why don't we try that tonight?
Michael, how are you getting on with those scallops?
Well, they're not my friends. I'm going to do that in some butter and some garlic, a bit of chilli, and I'm toying with the idea of doing a white wine sauce.
Do you know how to do a white wine sauce?
We're about to find out. I think so.
Michael, you're on the edge of a good idea here. Why don't you trust yourself?
I have absolutely been chucked in the deep end here. It's a little unsettling.
You took on the Sheriff of Nottingham.
It's very true.
You can tackle this.
It's very true. We shall see.
He's handling those scallops with real skill. We're going to have a parsnip puree, apparently. He's got some parsnips in some water, which he's boiling away. I would like to see a bit of milk or olive oil in that water to give it a smoother texture. However, parsnip puree, scallops, wonderful. But alongside that, he's got some bacon and some little brown shrimps. I hope they don't detract from the beauty of the scallop.
Oh, God almighty.
So I've never cooked goat cheese before, so I'm just gonna do some kind of sauteed potato, garlic, onion, flavor that up, and then bake it with the goat cheese.
Rapper Apple Diab is best known for being a member of the hip-hop group The Black Eyed Peas. The multi-platinum artists are one of the best-selling groups of all time.
My biggest strength is trying my best, you know? Just put it all together, whatever the task. Just have fun.
Apple, personal question. Can I ask you about your eyesight? Are you partially sighted?
Yeah, I'm actually diagnosed legally blind. I have a rare condition called nystagmus, which is the involuntary movement of your eyeballs. And I'm nearsighted at the same time. I've learned how to work with my vision, so if I need to get close to it, I get into it, you know?
You've had quite a career, right? So obviously it hasn't held you back. Do you like to cook?
Yes, I love cooking Filipino food. That's pretty much what I know how to cook, really.
Where did you learn Filipino from?
From my mom. She'd leave the recipes, and I invite my friends, and like, oh yeah, this is pretty good, you know?
What are you making for us now?
Baked potato with goat cheese, bacon, and mushrooms.
Hey, good cookery, go well.
Yeah, let's see.
I wonder if we're getting two different dishes together, because it seems like he's doing two different things. He says he's going to do us a baked potato with goat cheese and bacon, but he's also got a dish there with sliced sautéed potatoes with mushrooms and goat's cheese and herbs. The potatoes have to be nice and soft. If they're fried, nice and crispy. If they're baked, nice and fluffy, and the skin crispy on the outside. But I want lots of goat's cheese in there and maybe a bit of herbs to give it a bit of colour.
You're halfway. You are halfway. Thank you.
At the moment, I feel all right. Touch wood.
Potatoes are taking ages.
Scratch this idea.
Tongs.
My brother-in-law used to be a fishmonger and said, if you need any help, come round and we'll fillet a fish together. So I have done this before.
Actor Amy Walsh used to work as a waitress before finding fame playing Tracy Metcalf on Emmerdale. In the last year, she's taken a break from acting to bring up her baby daughter.
There's a performance element, I guess, when you're cooking, a creative element. I guess I can use my acting to pretend that I'm okay.
Amy has got those fillets off the bream really, really well. She's also got Luca giving her advice, who's also a fishmonger.
Always just run your finger right, push it.
I did, but I didn't do it up there. Yeah, well done.
She's got a pair of pliers there and she's pin boning it, so there should be no bones left in our bream. With that fillet of fish, we are getting choritos, onions, tomatoes, paprika all together. She seems to be a cook to me.
I just like those kind of Spanish-y flavours, chorizo, garlic mayo, alioli. I always get the mick taken out of me for calling it alioli.
Do you cook a lot?
2 or 3 times a week. I cook less now because I've got a 1-year-old who is a handful. Whoever puts the baby to bed, the other one makes dinner.
What are you doing here on MasterChef?
I want to, God, I'm going to get emotional. Prove to myself I can do something good. I don't know why I'm crying. I think you just lose your nerve and forget who you are when you've been away from all that. And this opportunity came and I could have run a mile. Like, I'm so out of the work game. I'm so in a tracksuit in the playpen with my baby 90% of the time eating baked potatoes because that's easier.
I want to tell you right now, I'm impressed by you. I'm impressed how you filleted the fish. I'm impressed that you can make mayonnaise. Amy, keep going. This looks and smells great.
Thanks, Greg.
You've got 15 minutes left.
"23-year-old reality TV star and former fishmonger Luca Bish rose to fame when coming second on Love Island in 2022.
I don't really cook at home at all. I've come on here mainly to save money because the restaurants and takeaways are getting a bit costly now.
Luca, that's an Italian name. Have you got Italian parents?
My mother, fully Italian.
Is she?
Yeah.
So what sort of food were you brought up with?
Pasta, pasta, pasta.
Can you cook pasta?
Yeah.
Can you make pasta?
Yeah, I can make pasta, yeah.
Did you learn this from Mum?
Yeah, Mum. Well, nonna.
Nonna?
Yeah, grandma.
What are you making for us?
I'm making a pork fillet. In the pan with the pork, I've got some shallots, rosemary, olive oil. Gonna do it with a bit of mashed potato and some honey roasted carrots.
How are you going to cook this pork?
Someone told me in the kitchen it's a lot on feel. What you do, a lot of, like, touch.
Well, it sounds like a plan, Luca.
Luca, he's got an Italian grandmother. He's got a mother who cooks all the time. There should be no reason why, even if he's just been watching, we shouldn't end up with good food. Luca's going to cook his piece of pork the same way as he would a fillet steak. Absolutely right. Meat and rosemary together is a lovely, lovely combination. Pork and rosemary, fabulous.
Got 5 minutes, everybody.
What?
5 minutes.
No way. Oh, my God. 5 minutes?
Who needs weights, eh?
You have just 90 seconds. 1.5 minutes to finish off your plates.
Oh, that garlic smells so good. I just hope I put enough on.
He's cooked. How do you tell?
Right, stop. Stop. Well done. Time's up.
Ames,
They look amazing.
do they?
They're so big. I've never seen a scallop that big. I wouldn't have been able to cook that.
I don't know if they're cooked.
Diane, come and tell us about your mushrooms.
Professional dancer Diane is serving her main ingredient of mushrooms as a mushroom soup made with coconut milk, finished with truffle oil, and a mushroom, garlic and chervil bruschetta.
At least I'll be safe from vampires. Straight away, I can tell that you like things with lots and lots of flavour. What you've got here is a really lovely, silky, smooth mushroom soup. Very, very woody with the flavour of mushroom, and then a good whack of truffle oil, which gives it fragrance. On the other side of that, you've got all these mushrooms, which are nicely cooked. You've cooked them like a piece of meat, which is right. They haven't gone slimy in any way at all. If you're going to use herbs, mix them in.
Okay.
But good dish. You're not shy with flavour, are you?
No, not at all.
I like the thick texture of your soup. It's almost a puree. I can't taste the coconut in there, which I'm pleased about. What I do like is the pepper you've put in there. Good seasoning, not too much. Your bruschetta needs a little bit more toasting. You've rubbed garlic across the top.
Too much? I went for it.
You've put so much garlic on there that it's hot. It's almost getting like a chili, but look, that's decent.
Okay.
All right, that's...
I'm okay with decent. Thank you very much. I'm absolutely buzzing after that. They both said, I love flavour, which I do, and I'm just glad they liked the taste of it.
Actor Michael is serving his scallops with a parsnip puree, crispy bacon, browned shrimps with chilli, and a white wine cream sauce.
Your scallop has been cooked really, really nicely. They're a little bit dark, some of them, but actually I don't mind that. You've got nice crispy bacon on the side here. The little shrimps with the chilli are cooked nicely. They're starting to go a little bit crispy, which I like a lot. So there's good bits here. Then there's things that are sort of a bit odd. The sweetness of the parsnip and the sweetness of your white wine sauce is blowing your scallop to bits. I don't think that you believe all these things go together on a plate. You put them as almost like I've gone up to the buffet and got little individual things and put them on my plate and see if they work together.
I don't know whether you've noticed, but since John's been talking to you, I've eaten nearly all your scallops because they are cooked really, really well. I am impressed. that someone who's never handled a scallop before got it out complete without tearing it and then managed to cook it really nicely. Sweet scallops with salty, crispy bacon, fabulous idea. A smooth parsnip puree would have been a lovely idea, but yours isn't smooth.
Thanks, Michael.
Thank God for Luca. You do need to be told there's a way to do it, otherwise you'll ruin the scallop. On the whole, if I'm going to be honest, I think it was okay, I really do.
Apple. Please, sir.
I watched you work, right, and you actually did 2 dishes. You only served 1.
Once I sautéed the garlic, onion, potatoes, you know, my mind went blank.
The dish rapper Apple chose to present is baked potato, stuffed with goat's cheese and bacon and mushrooms.
I think your choice of ingredients is absolutely sound, because that sticky goat's cheese is tangy, it's sour, and then with salty bacon, it's a marriage made in heaven. I'd like to see something else as well. I think if you'd have just got some salad, some dressed leaves, a bit of olive oil on there, squeeze a lemon, we would have had something on the side to complete it into a plate.
What you've got is great textures as well as really good flavour. The outside, that crispy skin you've got from the potato is really crispy and it's slightly salty, which is good. On top of that, you've got crispy bacon. In between that, fluffy potatoes, that creaminess of the cheese, saltiness coming from the bacon, and then the mushrooms have got a nice little crunch with them. I like it a lot.
All right, thanks
a lot.
Thank you, guys. I've never been so confused and flustered before. Once you get going, it's fun, you know?
Are you ready, Amy?
Yes.
Do you want to come and join us? Yeah. Come on.
I can feel your tension from here.
Actor Amy has filleted and pan-fried her sea bream and served it on a tomato, chorizo and chickpea stew with a side of aioli.
You have made a really lovely stew there on the bottom, rich with lots and lots of paprika. The flavour of pork fat coming from the chorizo, sweet onions, lots of sweet tomatoes, and you've cooked it just enough. Your fish across the top is cooked really, really well indeed. There's not a single bone amongst it. You've got really big flavours in there, which is great.
Amy, I've eaten all of your fish because it is cooked perfectly. Your stew underneath, rich, sweet with tomatoes and peppers, and really quite smoky with paprika, is delicious. Your garlic mayo on the side is sharp with lemon, heady with garlic. That's a really nice plate of food. You need to enjoy your cookery a bit more, and you need to believe in yourself, because this is really good.
Thank you so much.
Well done, Amy.
Thanks. Oh, God, I'm so relieved. I'm weirdly emotional. I can't tell you how many nightmares I've had about that round. I don't know why. I just got it in my head that it was going to be one of those mind-blank moments, and I didn't.
Luca, my friend, come on.
Finally, reality star Luca is serving his pork fillet with mashed potato and a honey-roasted carrot.
I love the way you cook the pork. I really do. And a lot of seasoning across the top. And I'm really happy that there's just a hint of pink in the middle there. I love your mashed potato. Buttery, well seasoned, well done. As a dish, it's difficult to eat because it's a little dry. You've got to get some sort of sauce on there somewhere.
Luca, you've successfully done meat and 2 veg, right? But you've done it with flavour. Honey on your carrots, which make them really sweet, but you've taken that a little bit further so they go slightly dark. The pork, really well seasoned with rosemary and the shallots, a bit of garlic. You've got a good touch. You've obviously watched somebody cook quite a bit, but it sounds like your mum's looked after you for a long, long time.
Yeah.
I think you might have something here. And thanks for helping the other guys with what you did. It's very generous of you. Thanks, Luca.
Thank you. That was the quickest hour I've ever had. I think when they put it in their mouth, it felt like the whole hour over again.
As MasterChef starts go, that was pretty good.
We're going to send you off, and you're going to have a little bit of a rest, because when we see you next, it's going to be a completely different story altogether. Next up, we're going to see the food that you really love to cook, the food that you do actually feed your friends and family. Off you go.
You smashed it.
I was a bit flustered.
You perform in front of probably bigger stadiums than Wembley, but got nervous around Greg and John.
Yeah, but cooking is a totally different thing, you know?
It is.
Our 5 celebs, I think, are nothing short of ace. I think there's a load of potential.
The one who's impressed me the most here is Amy. If you can prep and cook a piece of fish like that and you can make aioli, you're a cook.
I think Apple was very, very nervous.
I think the ingredients he put together were really good. The bacon, the jacket potato, the goat's cheese, very, very good idea. But I'd like to see a little bit more ambition from him.
Michael got scallops and with the help of Luca, actually shucked them. We had scallops cooked really, really well, nice and dark on the outside. They were cooked all the way through.
But the other stuff that went on the plate didn't make a lot of sense. That parsnip wasn't a puree. The white wine sauce, I'm not sure what that was doing on there. But the cookery of the scallops was great. I'm impressed with young Luca. I think his touch on the pork was superb. The addition of garlic and rosemary to the pan, really good.
He's not worried about being bold with the flavours. He just needs a little bit more, what's the word? Experience.
I think our Diane has real promise. She seemed to be cooking with confidence, and I enjoyed what she made.
She likes everything seasoned very well. Not frightened about truffle oil, not frightened about garlic, and it's good. It's bold, it's gutsy, and it's tasty. I got to say, Greg, I enjoyed what everybody made. I really did. I mean, there might have been component parts here and there that weren't quite perfect, but as far as a first round goes, great.
Welcome back.
You've been given a brief, and that brief is to cook for us your dinner party dishes, a main course and a dessert. Only 4 of you will go through to the next round. That does mean 1 of you will be going home. Ladies and gentlemen, 1 hour, 15 minutes, 2 courses. Let's cook.
Too much sauce. Too much sauce.
We've seen them cook once for us in the MasterChef kitchen. Now we want to see the different side of them.
We want their top dinner party plates.
What do they really like at home in downtime? What sort of style of food do they truly cook?
One comment that I got was, have self-belief. I just want to have fun, so that's what I'm channeling now.
Amy, we're coming to your house for a dinner party. What are you going to make?
I'm doing butter chicken curry and a mango lassi posset. I'm Bradford born and bred, so Indian food is kind of part of me and where I grew up. I know how a curry is meant to taste. I grew up on curry. It's the only restaurants we went to. And that's where this has been inspired from.
Amy's going on a theme of Indian. We got butter chicken, chicken marinated with spices and yogurt. She's serving that with naan. She's put some onion seeds all the way through them. She's got to make sure those breads are cooked. They're really quite thick. This sounds good. It smells good. I just hope she gets the food on the plate with real style and grace. Dessert, we're getting a lassi posset. Lassi is a spice drink of yogurt, spices like cumin and cardamom.
So you just boil up the cream with the spices, make a lime sugar syrup, put them together, put a bit of mango pulp in and yogurt.
Now, there are many different, mostly fruit-flavoured lassis all over the subcontinent of India. Turning that into a posset, that's quite a nice idea.
I meddled with the recipe, thinking I knew better, and it didn't set the last 3 times I've made it.
There we go.
So, that's honestly anyone's guess how that's going to turn out.
Do you think you'll ever calm down this competition or not?
Do you know what? Before I came in, I was like, I'm chilled and this is great. I'm you know, going to just enjoy it. I am enjoying it until you come over at the time that I need to put my chicken in the oven.
How often do you have dinner parties at home, Michael?
Oh, not often enough. The thing is, being an actor, if you're away on tour, it's difficult to get everyone together.
Kind of think it might be classical music and a bit classy.
It's all swing standards, and I'll make you the most fantastic cocktail.
Michael's making for us calves liver served with champ, mashed potato with spring onions, lots of butter, lots of cream. Calves liver, really difficult to get right. If it cooks one side too much, the other side will braise and it doesn't cook evenly all the way through. The sauce itself, balsamic vinegar and creme fraiche, it's going to make like a gravy. Could be good.
I have served these dishes in a dinner party a couple of times, and it went well. So I've probably just blown it on the hubris stakes, and it might turn this afternoon into an unmitigated disaster.
You seem to know Amy.
I spent 3 genuinely cherished years on Emmerdale, and I had the great distinction to be Amy's dad.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So is there a healthy competitiveness between you and Amy?
Hell yeah.
On screen?
I want to beat her. Bad.
Right, nice. That's nice for a father to do with their daughter.
For my dessert, it's chocolate molten cakes. They are simple, but they are potential hiccups.
You're going to get the sponge absolutely right because you've got a liquid middle. If you don't get the sponge firm enough, it just becomes a complete mush.
Perfect.
25 minutes have gone.
I'm nervous, and I don't get nervous for a lot. I'm hoping if both of these dishes go to plan, John and Greg have no choice but to put me through.
That goes in there. Luca is cooking cod. He's serving it with buttered asparagus and leeks. And then he's making a beurre blanc, a butter sauce. But he's using cream, shallots, vinegar, reducing it down. He's got to hope it doesn't split.
Orange and potatoes is an interesting one. Crushed new potatoes, I get. He's putting orange zest on there. I don't know where he's picked that one up, but it's troubling me.
So you're being very, very ambitious. I know you're a fishmonger. How often do you cook fish?
Never. I don't eat it.
Pardon?
I don't eat fish.
Because?
Because I just don't like the taste. I don't like greens either, and I'm cooking greens, so...
You don't like vegetables?
Nope.
If there are so many foods you don't like, what happens when you get invited round to a dinner party?
They cook something for me on the side. I cooked the other night for my family this meal, and I ordered a takeaway. For dessert, a poached pear with homemade cream and some red wine syrup. Red wine, that's sponsored by my dad. He loves a bottle of red. I actually watched a family friend do it a few times and I've practiced it once or twice, so I'm hoping it tastes the same.
Well, so where did you get the dessert recipe from?
So I found it on the internet, and obviously with the time limit, this was the most convenient with the other dish I'm doing.
Who's tried these dishes so far?
My mum, my dad, my sister, the dog.
What do they think?
Yeah, they all liked it, but they love me.
I hope he hasn't put those pears in whole. If he has, I hope he's clawed it, taken the middle out, or I hope he's halved it, because otherwise he won't get that red wine to permeate into the pear flesh.
I love throwing dinner parties for fight nights, basketball, football nights. So yeah, I love cooking for my friends.
Apple, what are you making?
I'm making chicken adobo. It's the most popular Filipino food out there. I've cooked this meal a few times. So I'm feeling relaxed, pretty confident.
An adobo, a stew, classically made in the Philippines. Every part of the Philippines has a different version, but usually with vinegar and soy sauce cooked together in a pot. He's got chicken and potatoes in his.
I've cooked chicken adobo for my friends a few times now, and I've gotten requests for the same meal over and over again, so I think they like it. Dessert, I'm mixing it with where I live, LA. So I'm making churros with chocolate dip, mixed with some instant coffee to give it a little kick, and voila.
Wonderful. So churros or a Spanish donut made from choux pastry, deep fried.
Deep fried.
Should be nice and crispy.
Yep.
So tell me about churros in LA.
It's either I'm like after the club, you know, they serve churros, any festivity, fiestas and stuff. They always
So do you always associate churros with having a good time?
Yeah, churros and good times.
Can I ask you, how often do you eat them sober?
Not too often, but yeah, a few times.
Churros. Big, long tubes, almost like a tube of donut. We've got a chocolate sauce that he's adding instant coffee to make it a little bit darker, a little bit richer, and maybe give it a bitter finish. I've never seen that before, and I think it's a very, very good idea.
It's showing a bit of skill making choux pastry, crispy on the outside, soft on the inside. It should be delicious.
Either overcooking it or undercooking it. That's my most worried about because the flavor is gonna be there.
You have just 25 minutes left. 25 minutes.
I feel like I'm putting my stamp on it. There's probably some red hairs floating about somewhere. I probably shouldn't say that in the kitchen, should I?
Diane seems really happy when she's cooking. There's the energy that I would imagine she brings to her dancing, and it's happening there in the kitchen.
I love feeding people. I think I take after my mum in that sense. She was forever inviting people over and cooking for them, and I saw the joy it used to bring my mum.
What are we having?
We are having pan-seared salmon. I'm gonna crisp up the skin.
What's it going with?
It's going with some vegetable noodles, which are gonna be at the bottom of the dish, but really lightly pan-fried. I want them almost a bit raw.
She's also making a beurre blanc with cream, which is a bit of a cheat. Traditionally, you get some acid, some vinegar, maybe some wine. You reduce that, and then you stir in butter. Adding cream to a butter sauce will stabilise it, should stop it splitting. But it should still be a butter sauce and not a cream sauce.
Her dessert is strawberry shortcake, like a scone, but enriched with cream and strawberries in between to make it look like a lovely little sandwich. Now, a shortcake is short. Now, short means crumbly, so I hope she can actually get the shape she wants.
I love baking, so for me, this is like the perfect dessert. Like, if I was to have a dinner party and I serve them strawberry shortcakes, I just think that's very cute and very Diane.
When you have a dinner party at home, what's the vibe?
I have so much joy in seeing people like come over and me like stressing out a bit, and I'm even doing the hand movements. But it's vibes, there's music, there's wine, there's lots of chat going on.
Celebrities, you've got just 10 minutes.
OK, this is fine. We can do this. Come on, Amy.
It's so much more pressure than I ever thought imaginable.
The first casualty of MasterChef.
You have just 90 seconds. You've got to get your food onto your plates right now.
I'm going to have to use it over here.
We're down to the doomsday bit. See if the cakes have done their thing.
Right on point right now.
I've been putting salt in it instead of sugar.
See that at restaurants sometimes, you know?
I'm so not happy with it. Oh, God. What a shame.
I think I'm happy. I don't know yet until they taste it.
That's it. Your time's up. Stop. Wow.
Listen, I've just put salt in my curry instead of sugar. It literally tastes like the sea.
Michael, please join us.
For his dinner party main course, Michael has made pan-fried calf's liver with champ mash, steamed tender stem broccoli, and a balsamic and creme fraiche sauce.
My liver is perfectly cooked. A little bit of caramelisation going on the top of that liver, but it's still pink in the middle. I call that perfect. I like your sauce. It is sharp. It's a little bit sweet. I like those flavours.
Thank you.
I think the mash is really good. Good flecks of green and white, good amount of cream in there. I think that sauce could be a little bit calmer because it's a lot of vinegar. And actually so powerful, it can almost overpower the flavour of the very, very strong liver. But otherwise, it's a decent dish.
Thank you.
For dessert, Michael has made a chocolate molten cake, served with cream and raspberries.
Not quite oozy. Michael, your molten cake is really, really good. It's got a nice little crust on the outside, rich with cocoa, not too sweet. A little bit of brown sugar sweetness in the background. That's really good.
I'd like to cut through it and the chocolate to ooze out, almost like it was a self-saucing pudding, but that's pretty close. You haven't oversweetened it. It is really almost a bitter finish with cocoa. The sponge is light and perfectly formed.
Thank you. I'm quite happy that it wasn't a disaster.
Yeah, thanks.
Bloody good for you. I'm tired. I can't wait to murder a beer.
Next up is Apple. He's serving a chicken and potato adobo, flavoured with soy and fish sauce, with rice and a spring onion garnish.
Your chicken's cooked very nicely, still quite soft. I love the flavours on the outside. They are salty with soy, vinegary, but not too sharp. Your rice is cooked beautifully. My only small complaint is some of these bigger potatoes are a little hard.
Your chicken is beautifully cooked. I like that. Falls off the bone. All those raw spring onions give you a lovely crunch of onion. Salty soy sauce, sharp from vinegar. All the flavour of the chicken has gone into that sauce. I'd like some more sauce to go with my rice.
For dessert, Apple is serving churros, dusted with sugar and cinnamon, with a chocolate coffee sauce.
Really like your chocolate dip with the coffee. Gives it a bitter finish. I think that's really clever. Your churros are not greasy. They're good, they're light. I love all the cinnamon on the outside. Have you tasted these? Because I'm getting salt at the end.
I did add some salt in there.
It's taking it from sweet to savoury.
The chocolate sauce, I think, is fantastic. I really like that. The coffee is quite bitter, and it's like a velvet chocolate sauce. The churros themselves, lovely and crunchy, nice and light, showing a lot of skill in making choux pastry. I think just a little bit more sugar, a little bit less salt, and then get that balance absolutely right.
I did a few things very well, so that's motivating that I'm doing something right, but there's some stuff to work on. All in all, pretty good.
Amy has cooked a butter chicken curry with an onion seed naan bread and a cucumber salad.
Have you been chewing at my bread?
No, but I didn't want to serve you raw dough. The pan wasn't hot around the edges, so I just had to salvage the bits I could, I'm afraid.
It's over-seasoned.
What have you done?
So you add a tablespoon of caster sugar at the end just to sweeten it off, and I did a tablespoon of salt.
OK.
Which I'm mortified about.
I don't think it's a disaster. I've got a nice little bit of chilli background, smokiness of turmeric coming through as well. Some spices are good. The yogurt is sharp and sour. Your bread, you know what the issue is here. Some of it is cooked on the outside, the other side didn't quite cook. There's some bits which are good, some are still a bit underdone. It smacks of panic.
I think it's a really nicely presented dish, and your chicken pieces are absolutely lovely, and I really like that. The texture of your sauce is thick and creamy. It's good flavours in here, but it's too salty.
Amy's dessert is a mango lassi posset, spiced with cinnamon, cardamom and nutmeg, with a topping of pistachio nuts and rose petals.
Oh, look at that.
Amy, the good thing is now we do actually know that you know the difference between sugar and salt. Because your dessert is nice and sharp with the mango, but it's sweet enough with that soft brown sugar. Really like the nuts, the rose petals across the top of it. It's set absolutely perfectly. Turn the glass upside down, that's absolutely brilliant.
It's got a spicy start like a chai tea latte, and it finishes with a little bit of mango fruitiness, but definitely sharpness. I think it's a really clever idea.
Thank you. Who knew cooking could be such a rollercoaster of emotions? I feel relieved, actually, after that cook. I thought everything went completely wrong. I've never done it that badly, and it's such a shame.
That couldn't have gone better, could it?
Well, yeah, I could have not put salt on. It'll be a relief to get home tonight, to have a bath and a glass of wine.
Luca has cooked seared cod with asparagus, crushed new potatoes with orange and lemon zest, sautéed leeks, and a beurre blanc sauce.
You have a very decent eye for presentation. Very modern, very smart. Couple of issues, Luca, I'm afraid to say. That fish is now overcooked. Crushed new potatoes are nicely made. I like the lemon zest. I'm slightly put off by the orange.
OK.
And you can clearly taste it. Orange and potatoes is unusual. You've shown a good touch with your asparagus. You haven't overcooked it, so well done.
You've got lovely sharp vinegar sauce in there, creamy with a little bit of butter running through it. Lovely freshness of leeks, good flavour of the asparagus running through it. Lemon, dill, chives, potatoes. I like what you've done with the potato cake. Orange, I don't mind it as much as Greg does.
Luca's dessert is a red wine, cinnamon and star anise infused poached pear with chantilly cream, an amaretti crumb and a red wine syrup.
Oh, that's soft. That pear is poached really well. Cut it in half so that the poaching liquid could get right into the pear. Absolutely lovely. That cream, not too sweet, amaretti biscuit across the top is giving it a kind of marzipan finish. This is almost restaurant standard.
Luca, your cod may not be 100%, but your dessert definitely is. I'm going to leave you a gold star. That reminds me of squirty cream out of a tin, which I really quite like. You've whipped it up with lots and lots of vanilla in there. It makes me feel comfortable and a bit childlike. Like the amaretti biscuits across the top. So I've got vanilla, almonds, I've got the lovely honey-rich pear, all on a plate together with that sweet red wine and the spices that are going in the background. It's really good.
Thank you. Restaurant standard. I don't know if maybe they were making me feel happier after the cod, but no, to hear that come out of Greg's mouth was, I was really happy.
Come on.
Diane has cooked pan-seared salmon on carrot, courgette and beetroot noodles, served with a cream-based beurre blanc.
Diane, your fish is a little bit over.
Okay.
Cook your fish just for a little bit less time. I like your veg underneath. They're nice and crispy and they taste of what they are. Lovely sweet carrots and beetroot, courgettes running through the whole thing. It's good.
I like the amount of seasoning on the fish. The crispy skin, I love. We crisped it up brilliantly. Took it off, put it in the oven. Great idea, good seasoning. Your beurre blanc is not working because it has no citrus in it hardly at all. So basically, when we got here is some butter and cream. I mean, it'd be great to spread on your toast, but not great to spread over a piece of fish.
For dessert, Diane has made shortcake with chantilly cream and a strawberry compote garnish.
Your shortcake itself, I think, tastes great. It just looks unwieldy. It shouldn't be like that. It should be lovely and smooth and round. I think your mix was probably a little bit too wet. If you do a shortcake again, cook it in a ring.
Okay.
Sweetened cream, hint of vanilla, that's chantilly, with juicy strawberries. This is great. I really like the texture of this shortcake, I really do. It's like a mixture between a sponge and a scone. I love that. But it's not sweet enough for me. Did you put any sugar in there at all?
I did, yeah. I don't really like my desserts too sugary, but I did put sugar. I put 2 tablespoons, I think.
You could easily have put ham and cheese in it. It's almost savoury.
Okay. I thought my dish went better than what the critique was. I feel like they weren't quite sure, which then leaves me feeling very like, oh, I don't know how that went. Oh, I hope I've done enough to stay.
Oh, gosh.
Oh.
I feel like I've been through a train wreck.
I thought dancing was hard. Cooking's way harder, guys.
We've got a really difficult decision to make.
I think there's some here that have exceeded my expectation.
Do you have a cook of the day, Mr. Wallace?
I thought Michael's liver with the champ and the sauce was absolutely delicious.
That molten chocolate cake, it had a nice gooey centre, crispy outside, not too much sugar. Michael's got himself a place in the next round.
Now, Amy, I liked her buttered chicken. Apart from the mix-up with the salt and sugar, I think she's a really good cook.
But the bread was an issue. She made the posset, which was delicious.
Kind of solid chai tea latte. I think Amy's a good cook. I think you do too. Diane didn't quite pull it off 100%.
The salmon I found slippery enough that I'd eat it, but just slightly over. Loved the veg around the outside, and I like the natural flavour that came with that. I would have liked that beurre blanc to have worked. It was too creamy and not enough acid in there.
That shortcake needed shape and form because it was just a blob. The whole dish wasn't quite sweet enough for me. Apple interests me a lot. The chicken, I had a drumstick and I had a piece of thigh, both brilliantly cooked, and I loved the flavours. Potatoes, the smaller bits, perfectly cooked. Some of the bigger bits, a little bit hard. The churros with that lovely chocolate coffee dip was a great idea.
They were nice and soft in the centre, golden brown on the outside, lots of cinnamon and sugar.
He added salt to that. He wanted to give it a savoury edge. It just felt a little bit unusual. Luca, for me, gave me a cod dish, which I found issues with, and a pear dish that I thought was nothing short of absolutely perfect.
His dessert was outstanding. Pear poached properly, really lovely and soft.
It was delightful. The cod dish was actually nice design, but he had overcooked the cod. Leeks were good, the beurre blanc sauce had enough sharpness in it. Potato cake, I thought the addition of orange was a little bit strange.
So we've got to make a decision out of those 4 of who stays and who goes home.
I can see talent, I can see ambition, but there were mistakes through all 4.
I've really enjoyed the day, so if this is all I get to do, then what an experience.
I got a few good comments, so I hope that's enough for me to stay.
I'm quite proud of what I did today. Fingers crossed I'm still here to cook again.
I'm only going to try more and more if I get the chance.
Thank you so much for inviting us around to your dinner party.
Now, there's one person who's really impressed Greg and I in this round. The first celebrity going through to the next round is Michael. Congratulations.
Wow. Thank you.
Pleasure. Diane, Apple, Amy, Luca. 3 of you are joining Michael in the next round, and 1 of you is going home. The celebrity leaving us is Diane.
Diane, honestly, we hope you have enjoyed it.
I have, thank you. I feel obviously gutted to be the first one to go home. I think eliminations get to me. I am used to them though, but they never get easier.
Congratulations, all 4 of you.
All right, yeah.
I'm absolutely thrilled to get through. It's good to have this one under the belt. It's down to the pub, I think.
You just gotta keep trying and keep pushing yourself. I'm gonna need pots and pans for my hotel room to keep practicing.
Gosh, I never knew cooking could be so emotional.
I just want to go home, tell my mum, tell my nonna, and I think I'm buzzing to get past round 1.
Next time, the remaining 4 celebrities are back.
Oh, no.
Knackered beyond redemption.
And the heat is on.
Keep going, keep going. Thick and fast. Let's have it.
As they cook for a place in the quarter-final.
Serve those by the dozen because they are absolutely delicious.
Celebrity MasterChef continues tomorrow at 9. Fever Forever over on BBC Sounds. Michael Molesley is telling you exactly how to stay young with his podcast. And Hempocalypse will take years off you, but it's a right laugh. And it's starting now over on BBC Two.
It's the ultimate culinary